Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I wanted to continue. It's so funny, I just noticed this window that I have here. I'm putting different things up on the wall right now and I'm trying to see what fits where, but it almost looks like a window inside of a window, a portal inside of a portal. I wanted to continue with one of the last videos that I posted about asking you who you are, who you are. Asking you how you are, but at the same time, really, who are you in this moment? How are you in this moment? Same thing. And encouraging realness, real talk, real presence, and authenticity. And just asking you, how are you today? How are you really? Normalizing, just being real, and normalizing the presence of the safe space that there is to place that presence. Sometimes there are places and people who don't feel safe in expressing yourself to. But they're just mirroring that kind of place in you that's scared of being real at all times. Scared of their reaction, scared of making them uncomfortable. You know, we do have this desire to have this kind of synergy and energy, and if you can feel that someone else is resistant or they're disengaged, but they say, how are you doing? Really, you can feel their disengaged energy, and you just want to keep your head down, make no eye contact, and just spit out the obligatory, fine, how are you? Without making eye contact. Feels like a lot of people are in that energy right now. And those people who ask you, how are you doing? That you can feel their energy. Just recognize that they're mirroring that energy in you, and just take a moment to notice that. Just notice that I'm really disengaged and disconnected and in a hurry right now. And at the end of the day, all you have is this one very moment. So if you can notice that, and regardless of what they say, just be real about where you are. They ask you how you're doing. Just say whatever it is. Man, I feel overwhelmed today. How you doing? Doesn't have to be a declaration and describing your whole day or saying why you're overwhelmed or all the things that you went through that day or your life story or whatever it is. Just the expression of realness, because I guarantee you're probably matching their energy anyway. You're mirroring theirs. And it may be that you share this moment of connection and you bring this person back to life, back to presence for a second. And even if you don't, you brought yourself back to presence for a second with no expectation. Now, this is like an exercise in no expectations. Don't expect them to take it. Don't expect them to take that from you or to fix it at all. But you also give them the opportunity to, if they want to provide that space. You give them the chance to put themselves out there and to help somebody else, and to maybe get them out of their own heads and stop focusing on themselves, and give you the opportunity to, or give them the opportunity to be there for you if they choose to be. And it may actually help them. Sometimes helping other people is a help to ourselves because we get so wrapped up in our own shit that helping somebody else actually helps sometimes to just break that loop that you got going on in your mind, and connect you back in the world again. And it's like, oh, that's right. There's other people around. There's other things going on. Let me reconnect with just one person, with just one moment, right? So challenge yourself to do that. And on the last video, so many of you commented, and I'm so grateful that you commented about how you were doing and sharing your situation and sharing where you are, both good and both positive and maybe a lower vibration, maybe frustration, maybe overwhelm, and impatience. You guys agreed with me with impatience. So comment down in the box below again. How are you doing today, my friend? This is a place where you get to express that. I'll start with how I'm doing today. I am overwhelmed. processing some pretty heavy stuff, trying to enact change in my life and triggering narcissistic energy in my realm. And I actually just recorded another video that was talking about some of this too, and the reason for that, and some more situations that were connected to it. But when we're triggered, we got triggered and had to really work. This is a very deep trigger. I mean, it is all hands on deck, protective mechanisms, and my brain just, it is major disassociation from my body, and I go straight up into my mind. And I can see the pattern of that, and it's just one thing right after another, and I'm replaying the conversation, and I'm having the conversation with these people in my mind, and it's like they're in there. It's like a psychic attack, really, almost, and I know that there is some negative energy being sent to me from them, and I'm sure the thoughts, because I'm disconnected from my body, I'm disconnected from my heart, I'm sure that there are thoughts that I'm sending their way, because I can feel the anger and frustration and just being sent towards them. And so I'm really overwhelmed by a lot of things that are going on in my life. And it's been a really tough morning, actually, to get to this point. And I'm confused about my next steps. I'm unsure. Just going along with it. I'm just following the breadcrumbs. Like I said in one of the last videos too, I interviewed for a position driving a school bus, and I went in and filled out paperwork and stuff today, and I just am still so unsure about it. And then the girl that I was sitting down with, she asked me what I do for my business, because I mentioned that, I have like a spiritual business, and I started to tell her I'm a Reiki master and I'm an intuitive guide and spiritual coach, things like that, however you want to define it. And I was explaining to her what Reiki is, and the more I got into it, the more the energy started to come out of her, and the more the issues that she's having started to come out in her, and then her father and her grandfather who passed away showed up, and she ended up reading her right there. Was that the purpose for the exchange? Probably. Does that mean that I'm not supposed to do that? I don't know. Maybe that is the catalyst for connecting with more people like that, and I don't know yet. It felt very in alignment to be reading her, and then it may be showing me the choice between two timelines. One felt very in alignment, and the other one felt like real resistance, and really, I have to take all these tests, I have to get a license, and felt like a lot of resistance there. So I don't know if that means I got to choose one timeline or the other. My brain is really exhausted from trying to figure it out. So, and then I came back and I got a message from my mechanic about my car, and it's just one thing right after another, and I'm trying to stay disconnected from it. I'm trying to not attach to the thoughts connected to it, the fear connected to how much money is involved and how much time, and one thing right after another going wrong with this car, but trying to recognize the connective tissue that's there too, the symbolic things, 4, 5, 6 on my clock, that I can see pieces of the puzzle and how this connected to this. And I said it in my last video, or my video that I was talking about. I pulled a couple of cards that I had to kind of set some boundaries right away with the mechanic himself, who was not being straightforward with me. He was being very kind of disconnected, disengaged, very salesman-y, where I had to just lay it on the line for him. I was just like, no, that's not how this is going to work. You're not going to tell me one thing and tell me one thing and tell me one thing, even though you know for a fact that that is not the truth. That tow truck driver is not coming this afternoon, and you know it. He's not coming tomorrow morning either, and you know it. You just have to tell me that the tow truck company that I use, they're a bunch of douchebags, and I can't count on them, so I have no idea when they're going to be there. Tell me that. Tell me, I'll respect you way more, and I need to trust you because I'm giving you a lot of my money in order to fix my car, and I need to trust you. So I want to trust you with the truth, even if that means it puts it off for a whole week. I'd rather know the truth. And we got through it, and I said, I want you to update me. I want you to call me, blah, blah, blah. Let me know what's going on. Just communicate with me. And he has ever since then. And he's been giving me just straight up. And I think it relieved some of the pressure on him to have to put on this front that he's got everything together and I can deliver on this and I can deliver on this, even though he's relying on other people who are not good business people, really. And he's got to stand by them. Because what it forced him to do was they didn't come that night to pick the car up, to tow the car. So the next day he said, this is what I'll tell you. If they don't come tonight, they said they were going to. If they don't come tonight, I'll call a different company in the morning. Or I'll call a different company tonight and I'll have them there in the morning. Or I'll try to. I said, okay. It's exactly what he did. And he ended up getting a tow truck company that was way better, who had a scheduler there, who gave him a time frame, who said they will either be there between 8 and 9:30, and the person's house that it was coming from needed to be there too. So we're coordinating all of these people, and so we need everybody to be doing their job. We need everybody to be doing their work. So holding somebody responsible and making them do the work, telling them to do the work, actually helps things to align in that way. I just creating that boundary and standing by it and sticking up for myself, and created a new connection for him too that he can rely on. Because I'm telling you, they were there right at 8:30. They were dependable. So when you request dependability and authenticity out of someone, they start to demand that from somebody else too. And I am in turn demanding that from myself. So I can see how that interaction led to something else. And he's been going to bat for me. He's been really, really, really... Watch that other reading too if you resonate with that. I just told a little bit more about it. But as I'm speaking about it right now, and this is what happened in the last video where I asked you guys how you were doing, some of the pieces start to come together a little bit more as I speak them through. So I'm connecting this also with an interaction with my ex, who anytime there's any kind of change or I'm requesting a kind of change, there is this major resistance and pushback, and especially if I point out something that they did or he did that is unacceptable to me, if I try to create that boundary that says we're not doing it like this, there's this pushback, there's this projection, there is this insecurity that gets projected back at me, and I get blamed for everything. And that's actually what the mechanic had done too. He was trying to blame the other mechanic. He was trying to blame my friend. He was trying to blame me. He was trying to give me my money back. He was trying to just get out of any kind of responsibility for just having lied, really, not been truthful. And I can see the patterns connected to how my ex does that too. So I started out by saying that I was overwhelmed and confused. And just having the space to talk through this has helped me to see this has happened in the past where we have this resistance. I want to try to make a change. There's this resistance. I bring something up that they're doing that I don't like, and there's this boundary, and it's like, no more. You guys, you can't do that anymore. And they will push back and never admit it, never apologize for it, never own up to it. But they do actually make the change later, though. So if I'm saying, give me a heads up about this because, it's really messed up that you didn't give me a heads up. I gave you a heads up months and months ago. So what you're doing is not respectful for my time. Even though right now they're defensive and just projecting it all back at me and playing games and being mean, really. the end of the day, I know that they will make a change and do it differently next time. They will. Because that is a pattern that happens that I'm noticing right now in my brain. They will be, it won't be easy for them, and they may be resentful towards me, but they will do it. So it's just really about witnessing ourselves. So that's where I am. Okay? That's where I am. Confused, overwhelmed, but sitting in the middle of it and working and talking through it, feeling through it. Without this space, without being able to talk and take the energy from my brain out through here, it gets all jumbled up in there. It gets all jumbled up. So no matter what I do for a living, I'm going to cry. No matter what I do and get paid for, whatever sustains me, this will always be, I'll have no expectations around this space and this channel, because it's meant to be a place of freedom of expression, authenticity, and sacred space. So just know that I'm a mirror of this space, so I'm always a sacred space for you. If you ever feel like you want to connect with me, that you want to give me a job, that you want me to help you, I'm here for it. It's my purpose in life. But if you just want to express yourself on this channel, in this video, in these comments, that's what it's here for too. So no matter what I do, even if I'm driving a bus, I am always me and going to express myself here in the space with no expectation. I feel right now in this moment, as I say those things, disappointed. It's almost like, I don't want to do that though. I want to do this. I want to support people, and I want to help people realize their dreams and see themselves, be able to be real and become everything that they're meant to be. And I want to help free you into your authentic self. So even just saying that is me declaring that this is what I'm moving towards. That's what's coming to fruition for me. That's what I'm moving towards. And it doesn't mean, if I start driving the bus, it doesn't mean that that's the end of the road. It doesn't mean I'm choosing one or the other. Maybe it means that this one is the means to this one. Maybe this one leads to this one. There's something in me that feels that it's very final, and that I have to choose one or the other. And that feels very disappointing. So it maybe is that those blinders that I have on, or that my inner child has on, that says, maybe it's just for a time being. Maybe it's just to pay for the $7,000 car repairs, or maybe it's freeing up space for me to be able to do this more often. But at least I know how much all of this means to me by feeling like it's like that's how you access your dream. Let somebody try to take it away from you. Try to take it away from yourself. Try to imagine yourself not doing it. Before I came on here, I was just so confused and really tired. My brain was really tired. I'm feeling like just doing it on my own. But then I come on here and I start talking about it, and it makes more sense in my brain. And the energy and the emotions come out in order to reveal what is going on in the background. Like my little girl is thinking it's got to be one or the other, or that she's going to miss out, or that she's going to fail, or that she did fail by choosing one instead. Like, she feels like a failure. So without having talked about it, that maybe wouldn't have come out. So thank you for listening. And I'm here for you too. Tell me how you are. Tell me how you really are. In this moment, I feel like I can breathe a little bit more too. So I just told you how I was in the beginning moment, the middle moment, and now. So there's a lot of different moments. There's a lot of opportunities for presence and a different kind of presence. And there are some times where just being real about where you are puts you into a different kind of presence, a more aware space. And that's what, we're on the journey to awareness, more awareness, and being aware of who we are and where the light is. So hopefully I just moved something out of the way that was blocking some of the light, the clarity, getting back into my heart again after shutting down and protecting myself yesterday. So thank you. I love you guys. Tell me how you are. Seriously. Tell me how you are. Put it in the comments down below. And if you want to book a session with me, all that information is down in the box below too. Love you. Talk to you soon.